Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary from therosehomestead.com, and in today's video I'm going to be comparing two of the most popular impact grain mills out there, the Wondermill and the Nutrimill Classic. Alright, so if you've been following me for a while, you're probably saying, wait, you got another grain mill. Yes, I did. I want to quickly explain why I have another grain mill sitting here. Really, it was just because I got thinking about if I ever have to send my Nutrimill back for maintenance or something like that, I don't want to be stuck without a grain mill. And it's one of those, it's the most important appliance in our kitchen, to be honest with you. And so my husband and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and I was telling him how I thought, maybe we should get like another grain mill just in case. And he was like, yeah, I could see that. And so enter the Wondermill. So why didn't I just get another Nutrimill? Well, I actually had one in my cart, and then I got thinking, well, wouldn't it be nice to get the other big time impact grain mill and compare them for those of you who are on the fence, who haven't made up your mind yet which one that you want. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go over each one of these, how they work. They're quite different. So this is my Nutrimill Classic. I have had this for several years now and I absolutely love it. It is the only high-speed grain mill I've ever used until I got the Wondermill, so I didn't have anything to compare it to. But the way it works, it has a lid here, and there is a hopper where you pour your grains. It has an extension that comes with it, so you can put a lot in here. And it has the flour bin that comes out from underneath the milling head. So you have this, you have a little sponge, and what that does is any really fine flour that's blowing all over whenever it's going in the inlet hole here. Let me pull this up so you can see it better. There we go. This is where the flour shoots through from the grain mill. This has a cup under it. I'm going to show you in just a second. And when there's a lot of really fine flour or dust, this keeps it contained so that there's not dust going everywhere in your kitchen. So when you take the lid off, you see there's a cup here and it just comes on and off. It just kind of snaps into place. And that's pretty much it. To put the lid back on, you push it down and just twist it until the little tabs are underneath each one of these. Now, the one thing I will say about the Nutrimill Classic, and it's not anything different than what I'm going to say about the Wondermill, because it's a little different the way it works, but I still had the same thing happen. On the Nutrimill, there is the word yes and the word no under here where you put your bowl. You want to make sure, like if you just push this in like that, and it says no, when you turn this on, flour is going to, your whole kitchen's going to be covered in flour. I've done it before. You want to push it until you see the word yes. And then you know that it's pushed in all the way and there won't be any dust or flour anywhere. All right, so there are two different knobs on the Nutrimill Classic. There is a motor speed, which is your top knob, and then there's a feed rate. And what this is it opens up the area where the grains fall through. So the slower that you have the feed rate going, the finer the flour, and the faster you have it going, the coarser the flour. So with the Nutrimill, you pour your grain in first, and then you turn the knob to the desired feed rate. So for me, I turn it at 12 o'clock. And so it's a bit different. The Wondermill is set up just a little bit different. So make a note of that. You pour your grain in first, then you turn it on. Now it's going to make this whining sound when all the grain goes through. I let it run for about 5 seconds after that. Per the instruction manual, it's a self-cleaning mill. And if you let it run 5 seconds past that, it cleans everything out, ready to go for the next time. I'm going to give you a few pros and cons to the Nutrimill before we move on to the Wondermill. One of the really big pros to me is it's all one piece to store. So you just got this one thing that I pick up and carry if I want to move it. It's really simple, very contained, very contained. I like that it has a really big hopper up here that holds a lot of grain. Huge bowl, holds a lot of flour. I do like that it has a lifetime warranty. That's a big pro. If there's ever a problem with it, no matter when, as long as it's the original owner, send it in and they will fix it for you really quickly. So I do like that a lot. Now for a con, I would say that until you get really used to it, this bowl thing can cause you a big mess in your kitchen. I've had it happen when I first got the grain mill, and it's not really a con of the machine, it's just a con of the process of using the machine. And so you just have to be like 100% sure you have this pushed in all the way. Another con that I would say is it's really big. This takes up a ton of space on your kitchen counter. For me, it's no big deal. I'm fine with that because this is like the most important small appliance in my kitchen. But for some people that have like really tiny kitchens, this is huge. So that's one con that I would say is that it's quite big. Another con, and it's not just this one, but I think it's worth saying, I have to wear ear protection when I use either one of these. They are so loud. It's really loud. I'm not even going to turn these on this video. I don't want to hurt your ears. But they are loud, and that just seems to be par for the course. Alright, so this is the Wondermill. Now, this one has a lid like the Nutrimill, and this is your hopper like the Nutrimill. It only has one dial on it, and it says pastry, bread, and coarse. I've used it several times already, and the bread is perfect for whatever you're wanting to make. It has an on-off switch instead of like the knob that you turn it on. And here's the big difference. It has a separate flour bin that has a feed tube. This fits inside of this, and the flour shoots through this tube into this bin. It also has the little sponge like the Nutrimill and the cup. And so when you're going to make, I'm covered in flour, when you're going to grind your wheat berries, I've already found out the hard way, make sure this lid snaps on. I thought I had it on and I didn't, and oh my goodness, flour went everywhere. So I'm going to show you. I think it'll loosen up. My Nutrimill was like this when I first got it. I think it will loosen up over time, but I'm going to show you the sound that it makes. It's obvious that it's on when you hear it. I didn't know that. So, but what you do is you turn this out like that, and then you push it up in the hole that's on the side of the grain mill. Now this one is different from the Nutrimill in that you have to turn the machine on before you add your wheat berries. So that's different, and I have to keep reminding me there's big red letters in here that says turn on before milling, and that helps. So far I haven't done it, but I won't be surprised if that doesn't happen sometime when I'm just not thinking about it. But this little feed where it goes down in there is quite a bit like bigger, I think, than the Nutrimill, so it does seem to grind faster, because it seems like the feed tube is a bit bigger than what I don't know if it is. I'm just saying it looks like it is. So if you want to not take up as much space with the Wondermill, you can store it like this, and you have still a pretty small package than the Nutrimill. So that's, that's a bit of a difference in them. All right, so the way that it works is quite easy. I'm going to show this again. You turn this thing here out like that, and then you push it. There's a hole right here, and you push this inside until it goes up in there. You can tell it's went up in there, and then you turn it on. I'm not going to turn it on, it's really loud. And then you pour your grain in there, and it'll do just like the Nutrimill in that it goes woo, it gets really fast. I let that go for 5 seconds, and it's also self-cleaning. And so that's the difference in the way that they work. And then after you're done milling, you take the tube out, and your flour will be right in here. So the pros that I have noticed so far is that it's quite a bit smaller, which I kind of like. It's a tiny little machine, and when you put the bowl on top of it like that, it doesn't take as much real estate on this countertop than the Nutrimill did. It's not a really big deal breaker. I'm just letting you know it is quite a bit smaller. The pros, another pro that I have noticed about this one is what I stated before. It does seem to mill a bit faster. So if I just am making, say, biscuits, and I just need 2 cups of flour, it's really fast. I mean, it was kind of like, wow, I didn't realize how fast it was until I made biscuits yesterday, and it just flew through. So I like that part. Also, I like that it's very simplified. You just have an on-off button, and if you leave it on this bread setting, pretty much anything you grind is going to be perfect. So I do like that I just have to turn the knob on and it's ready to go. So I do like that. Another pro to this one is it is quite a bit, it seems lighter to me than the Nutrimill. It has a lifetime warranty just like the Nutrimill does, so if there's ever any problems you can send it in to get it repaired, and that's really nice. I love appliances that have lifetime warranties. So let's talk about the cons. One con that I have noticed is if you're not holding this, when you push the on button, it flips to the side. It jerks. I don't even know how to explain it. I'll try to overlay a video of that. It's quite violent. Another con is, and I'm sure I'll get used to it, but this separation and having to put this up in here, I don't mind that part, but that it's open. This is always open, this little hole here, this hole. I've actually been just like putting a paper towel in the holes when I'm not using it, because we got all kinds of fruit flies and stuff around here, so I'm just not, I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I don't like that openness. I would say for these 2 meals, it's going to come down to the space that you have. This little base, if you put this on top of it, is going to take up quite a bit less space than the Nutrimill. It's a big machine. It's pretty big around, and not like it's so tall, but it's just a really big around machine. So I hope that this overview and these pros and cons of these 2 machines will help you if you are trying to figure out which grain mill to buy, and I will leave links for both of them down below if you're interested in checking them out. I will say that either one of these machines will be a worthy appliance in your kitchen. You will love it. They make beautiful flours. The flour doesn't get hot. It's not damaging any of the nutrients. It's just they're both really, really nice machines. And so I hope that you got some information out of this that will help you make a decision in your grain meal choice, and let me know if you have any questions about either one of these down below. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy videos on cooking from scratch, gardening, food preservation and homesteading, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below. I make at least 2 new videos every single week and would like to have you here. All right, guys, well, we will see you on the next video.